It's time for Guess or Odds on Tregon TV. Welcome on board, guys. I am Okon. I have Deji with me. 6 games and 3 likely goal scorers. Joining on the fun and also invite your friends to subscribe. But let's do this, guys. All right, Deji, let's start off with our very first game, and that's the tie that involves Arsenal and Lincoln City. It's an FA Cup tie, and Lincoln City are in their first FA Cup quarter-final in whatever years.
Well, they're seeking to be the first non-league side to make it into the semi-final. They were one of course, amongst the new non-league sides to make it into the quarterfinals, alongside Sutton, which Arsenal beat in the previous round. We think Arsenal will beat Lincoln. It's been, a good run for Arsenal, especially in the FA Cup. It looks to be the tournament that they find their form the most. Arsenal, they've been a bit out of sorts in the Champions League, in the league, of course, in the League Cup as well.
Yeah.
But then the FA Cup looks to be their stuff. Look at the head-to-head. Arsenal dominating in that respect. So Arsenal to win, definitely a goal. And
then we have Napoli versus Crotone in the Serie A. We're going for a Napoli win or draw. That's after Napoli's Champions League exit.
Yeah, they'll be looking to bounce back from that one. Last weekend in Serie A, they were good. They had that victory over AS Roma. Yeah. I think that's something that would really push them to keep on going. Remember as well, Okon, it's close in those spaces just for the Champions League, and they'll be looking to consolidate. They're playing against Crotone. They won the reverse fixture against Crotone. Crotone are one of the bottom sides in Serie A. We think Napoli would get the win.
So let's look at the third game, Deji. That's the tie that involves Deportivo and Barcelona, and we're going for over 1.5. Now, Barcelona have actually scored more than 5 goals in their last 3 games.
They've been scoring for fun, 6, 5, 6, and that's been it for Barcelona. Been scoring goals for fun. Deportivo La Coruña just won a clean sheet in their last 8. I think that's a really big worry when you're facing a side like Barcelona. MSN are firing as well. Yeah, maybe they still have the structural problems, Barcelona, but then the goals are raining, which is very important, especially for us, because we're hoping for 2.
Well, we're staying in Spain, and this involves goals too, Deji. Yeah. Real Madrid scored 3 in midweek against Napoli. We think we're doing over 1.5 in their home game against Real Betis, and then also winning that one.
Okay, it's now 48 consecutive games that Real Madrid have scored at least a goal. It's not just that, it's also the fact that every Real Madrid game this season has had at least 2 goals. It's really crazy, and Real Madrid are going for that record, the Spanish record, for most games with at least 1 goal. They are now on 48 games, which is also really amazing when you look at how they've gone this season. The good thing for Real Madrid and for punters is Real Madrid can't even keep a clean sheet. Once again, Real Madrid unbeaten at home in La Liga this season. So we think they'll get the win and over 1.5 in that game.
Let's go to France and talk about PSG, who during midweek were actually beaten blue-black by Barcelona. But this weekend, Deji, they're up against Lorient. They're away from home, but we think they're too good to lose.
Oh, they're also up against Monaco in the Liga, and that's something PSG would really have at the back of their minds. Yes, they would want to forget about the Champions League very quickly and concentrate once again on the league. But then we're looking at their psychological strength or their psychological state at the moment, PSG. We're not going for the straight win against the Lorient side, who, by the way, have lost their last 4 games. But we think PSG will go into that game and avoid defeat, which could be the start of their rebuilding once again.
Deji, in Germany, let's talk about Carlo Ancelotti's team. This team are very close to winning another Bundesliga title.
Another treble, maybe.
Absolutely. And then they're up against Eintracht Frankfurt, and we're going for a Bayern straight victory.
I think the good thing about Ancelotti's side is they are hitting peak at the right time. We're looking at the Bayern Munich side who are finally hitting their stride. At the start of the season, it was a bit dull for them. But then Carlo Ancelotti's side seems to be peaking at the right time of the season, which is always very important. March, April, May, that's when you want big sides to hit their stride. The treble is still on course as well. We think, against Eintracht Frankfurt, they just keep up that run in the Bundesliga. They look good in the DFB Pokal quarterfinal in the Champions League. Who can stop Bayern Munich?
Haven't lost a game since November, October, if I'm not mistaken. Let's cross over to our goal scorers. Did you have 3 of them? Alexis Sanchez for Arsenal as they play against Lincoln City.
Well, if he plays, he will score, definitely, Alexis Sanchez. We think he'll get 1 against Lincoln City.
Let's talk about Luis Suarez. This is a man who scored once in the midweek tie against PSG.
Well, 3 goals in his last 3 games, Luis Suarez. We think he'll continue that form. Messi is the main man, but Suarez starting to show the form of last season, and we think he'll get another goal.
Our final goal scorer, Deji, Antoine Griezmann, Atletico Madrid's top scorer this season. We think he's going to be in and amongst the goals.
12 goals. He's another man who's getting back in form, getting the goals for Atletico Madrid ahead of the Champions League. I'm sure Atletico Madrid wants to get him some sort of breathing. He may not play 90 minutes, but if he gets a few minutes, I think Antoine Griezmann will bag another.
All right, guys, so those are our games on Against All Odds. Deji's actually stepped out because it's time for him to go and put some cash on those particular games. Have yourselves a splendid weekend and invite your friends to actually subscribe and join in on the fun.